Imagine standing on a mountain summit as the first rays of sunlight spill across endless forests, medieval castles and storybook villages. Below, crystal-clear rivers weave through ancient valleys, while cathedral spires rise above centuries-old cities that have witnessed the triumphs and tragedies of European history. In one direction, snow-covered alpine peaks pierce the clouds. In another, golden vineyards stretch toward mighty rivers that have inspired poets, painters, and kings for generations. This is not a fantasy world. This is Germany, a country where every journey reveals another masterpiece. Every road leads to a remarkable story, and every landscape feels as though it belongs in a timeless painting. Today, we are setting out on an unforgettable adventure across one of Europe's most fascinating destinations. From breathtaking natural wonders to vibrant cities, from legendary castles to charming villages untouched by time, prepare to experience Germany like never before. There are few places in Europe that combine natural beauty, cultural richness, architectural brilliance, and modern innovation as effortlessly as Germany. Located at the heart of the continent, this remarkable nation shares its borders with 9 neighboring countries, making it a crossroads of civilizations, traditions, and ideas for more than 1,000 years. Yet despite its central position, Germany has preserved an identity unlike anywhere else in the world. Every region tells its own story. Every landscape offers a different atmosphere. Every city presents another chapter in a nation that continues to shape history while embracing the future. Germany is made up of 16 federal states, each with its own traditions, local cuisine, dialects, festivals, and architectural character. Travel from the rugged coastline of the north to the towering Bavarian Alps in the south, and you'll feel as though you've crossed several different countries in a single journey. Along the way, you'll discover vibrant metropolitan skylines, romantic river valleys, dense forests wrapped in legends, peaceful lakes reflecting snow-capped mountains, and medieval towns where centuries-old buildings still line narrow cobbled streets. For millions of travelers every year, Germany is far more than a destination. It is an experience that combines adventure with discovery. One moment you're standing before an engineering marvel of the modern world, and the next you're wandering through a castle whose towers inspired fairy tales known across the globe. Ancient Roman settlements, Gothic cathedrals, Renaissance palaces, and contemporary architecture exist side by side, creating a fascinating contrast between past and present. Germany's history stretches back thousands of years. Celtic tribes, Roman legions, medieval emperors, brilliant philosophers, revolutionary scientists, world-famous composers, and visionary inventors have all left their mark upon this land. Names like Beethoven, Bach, Goethe, Einstein, Gutenberg, and the Brothers Grimm continue to influence the world today. Their achievements helped shape music, literature, science, philosophy, and technology, making Germany one of humanity's greatest cultural powerhouses. Yet beyond its historical significance lies another reason why travelers fall in love with Germany. It is the incredible variety waiting around every corner. Towering castles overlook peaceful rivers. Dense evergreen forests hide mysterious hiking trails. Alpine meadows bloom beneath dramatic mountain peaks. Coastal islands reveal windswept beaches and towering chalk cliffs. Every season transforms the country into a completely different destination. Spring covers valleys with colorful blossoms. Summer fills lakes with sparkling reflections and lively festivals. Autumn paints vineyards and forests in brilliant shades of gold and crimson. Winter blankets villages beneath fresh snow, while Christmas markets illuminate ancient squares with thousands of glowing lights. The cities themselves each possess a distinct personality. Berlin tells stories of resilience, creativity, and reinvention. Munich celebrates Bavarian traditions while embracing innovation. Hamburg thrives through its maritime heritage and impressive harbour. Cologne proudly displays one of Europe's greatest cathedrals. Dresden dazzles with restored Baroque elegance. Frankfurt reaches skyward with gleaming skyscrapers while preserving centuries of history beneath their shadows. Everywhere you go, you'll discover another side of Germany waiting to surprise you. But perhaps the greatest treasures are often found beyond the famous landmarks. Hidden among rolling hills and winding rivers are villages where half-timbered houses appear frozen in time. Flower-filled balconies overlook peaceful market squares. Church bells echo through quiet valleys. Local bakeries fill the morning air with the irresistible aroma of freshly baked bread, while family-owned cafes welcome visitors with warm hospitality passed down through generations. These are the places where Germany's traditions continue to thrive, offering travelers authentic experiences impossible to find anywhere else. Nature lovers will discover endless adventures across Germany's extraordinary landscapes. The Bavarian Alps provide spectacular hiking trails, panoramic viewpoints, and crystal-clear mountain lakes. The mysterious Black Forest invites exploration through ancient woodlands wrapped in folklore and legend. The Rhine and Moselle rivers wind gracefully between vineyards and medieval castles, creating some of Europe's most unforgettable scenery. National parks protect rare wildlife and pristine wilderness, while thousands of kilometers of cycling and walking routes encourage visitors to experience the country's natural beauty at a slower pace. Germany is equally celebrated for its festivals, food, and traditions. From lively beer gardens and world-famous Oktoberfest celebrations to magical Christmas markets that transform historic squares into winter wonderlands, every season offers unforgettable experiences. Regional specialties vary from one destination to another, allowing every journey to become a culinary adventure filled with artisan breads, traditional sausages, delicious pastries, local wines, and centuries-old recipes that continue to define German culture. Modern Germany also stands among the world's leaders in technology, sustainability, engineering, and education. High-speed railways connect historic cities with remarkable efficiency. Renewable energy projects shape the future of clean power. World-renowned automobile manufacturers continue pushing the boundaries of innovation. Universities attract students from around the globe, while museums preserve priceless works of art alongside groundbreaking scientific achievements. It is this remarkable balance between preserving history and embracing progress that makes Germany truly unique. Throughout this journey, we won't simply visit famous attractions. We'll uncover hidden stories behind legendary landmarks, explore breathtaking natural landscapes, experience centuries-old traditions, and discover why Germany consistently ranks among Europe's most rewarding travel destinations. Together, we'll wander through magnificent castles that inspired fairy tales, stand atop dramatic mountain peaks, cruise along romantic rivers lined with vineyards, and step inside cities where history continues to shape everyday life. Whether you're dreaming of your next unforgettable adventure, searching for hidden gems, or simply eager to explore one of Europe's most captivating countries from the comfort of your home, this cinematic journey promises extraordinary discoveries at every stop. So take a deep breath, let your imagination travel beyond the horizon, and prepare to experience the wonders of Germany through breathtaking landscapes, fascinating history, timeless culture, and unforgettable moments that will inspire your next great adventure. Before we venture into Germany's breathtaking cities, fairy tale castles, and spectacular mountain landscapes, let's uncover some fascinating facts that make this remarkable country unlike anywhere else in the world. Beyond its iconic landmarks lies a nation filled with extraordinary traditions, surprising achievements, and unique cultural experiences that shape everyday life. Every statistic tells a story, every tradition reflects centuries of heritage, and every innovation reveals why Germany continues to influence the world in so many ways. One of Germany's most celebrated traditions begins with something remarkably simple: beer. While many countries produce excellent beer, few have elevated it into a cultural symbol quite like Germany. Across the nation, centuries-old breweries continue to craft their recipes with remarkable precision, many following the famous beer purity law, or Reinheitsgebot, introduced in 1516. This historic law originally allowed beer to be brewed using only water, barley, and hops, making it one of the oldest food regulations still recognized today. More than 500 years later, this commitment to quality remains a source of national pride. Every autumn, this brewing heritage reaches its grandest celebration during Oktoberfest in Munich. What began as a royal wedding celebration in 1810 has evolved into the world's largest beer festival, attracting millions of visitors from every corner of the globe. Beneath enormous festival tents, traditional Bavarian music fills the air while people dressed in colorful lederhosen and dirndls raise enormous beer steins in celebration. Yet Oktoberfest is about far more than beer. It is a joyful expression of Bavarian culture, family traditions, delicious cuisine, lively music, and the warm spirit of togetherness that welcomes visitors from around the world. Germany is also a paradise for food lovers, especially anyone with a passion for freshly baked bread. Few countries can rival its astonishing variety. Bakers across Germany produce more than 300 recognized types of bread, ranging from dark rye loaves to soft wheat rolls, seeded specialties, and rustic sourdough creations. Every region proudly protects its own baking traditions, many passed down through generations of family-owned bakeries. Morning walks through German towns are often accompanied by the irresistible aroma of warm bread emerging from ovens that have served local communities for centuries. Alongside bread comes another national favorite: sausages. Germany is home to well over 1,000 regional sausage varieties, each reflecting local ingredients, flavors, and traditions. From the famous Bratwurst of Bavaria to Berlin's beloved Currywurst and the small grilled Nürnberger sausages, every destination offers something unique to discover. Pair these specialties with locally brewed beer or freshly baked pretzels, and you've experienced a tradition that continues to bring people together in lively beer gardens and bustling town squares. Germany's engineering reputation is equally legendary. Around the world, the phrase German engineering has become synonymous with precision, reliability, and innovation. This reputation extends from luxury automobiles to advanced manufacturing, medical technology, renewable energy, and industrial design. Iconic brands such as Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Porsche, Audi, and Volkswagen have transformed the automotive industry, producing vehicles admired for both performance and craftsmanship. For driving enthusiasts, Germany offers one of the world's most famous road networks. the Autobahn. While not every section is free of speed limits, several stretches allow drivers to travel without a mandatory maximum speed, creating a unique experience found in very few places on Earth. Yet despite this freedom, the Autobahn is also recognized for its exceptional safety standards, disciplined driving culture, and outstanding infrastructure, demonstrating how engineering and responsibility work together. Germany is also one of Europe's greatest castle kingdoms. Scattered across forests, mountain peaks, and river valleys stand more than 20,000 castles, palaces, and historic fortresses. Some rise dramatically above winding rivers, while others hide among dense woodlands or overlook picturesque medieval villages. Every castle tells a different story of emperors, knights, noble families, political intrigue, and centuries of changing history. Among them all, Neuschwanstein Castle remains perhaps the most enchanting, inspiring countless artists, filmmakers, and even the iconic fairy tale castle recognized around the world. History and culture are woven deeply into Germany's identity. The country is home to dozens of UNESCO World Heritage Sites, preserving treasures that span more than 2,000 years of civilization. Towering Gothic cathedrals, Roman archaeological sites, magnificent palaces, medieval old towns, industrial heritage complexes, and breathtaking natural landscapes all reflect Germany's remarkable diversity. Each site serves as a living reminder of the civilizations, artists, architects, and visionaries who shaped Europe across the centuries. Germany has also given the world some of history's greatest thinkers and creators. Johann Sebastian Bach transformed classical music with compositions still performed today. Ludwig van Beethoven revolutionized the symphony. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe became one of literature's most influential voices. Johannes Gutenberg's invention of the movable type printing press changed the course of human knowledge forever, making books more accessible and accelerating the spread of education across Europe. Speaking of education, Germany continues to invest heavily in knowledge and innovation. Its universities consistently attract students from every continent, offering world-class education alongside cutting-edge research opportunities. Many public universities charge little or no tuition, making higher education accessible to both domestic and many international students. Combined with excellent research institutions and technological development, Germany remains one of the world's leading centers for science, medicine, engineering, and environmental innovation. Nature lovers may be surprised to discover how environmentally conscious modern Germany has become. Renewable energy projects now play a significant role in powering the country, while extensive cycling routes, efficient public transportation, and carefully protected national parks demonstrate a strong commitment to sustainability. Forests cover nearly 1/3 of the country's land area, providing habitats for wildlife while offering endless opportunities for hiking, cycling, and outdoor adventures. When winter arrives, Germany transforms into something truly magical. Historic market squares sparkle beneath thousands of festive lights as Christmas markets fill the air with the comforting aromas of roasted almonds, gingerbread, cinnamon, and warm mulled wine. These enchanting markets have been part of German culture for centuries, creating unforgettable experiences where handcrafted ornaments, local delicacies, traditional music, and joyful celebrations bring entire communities together during the holiday season. Perhaps what makes Germany most extraordinary is its remarkable ability to honor its past while embracing the future. Ancient castles stand beside modern skylines. Centuries-old traditions continue alongside groundbreaking scientific discoveries. Historic villages preserve timeless beauty while innovative cities shape tomorrow's technologies. It is this perfect harmony between heritage, creativity, nature, and progress that transforms every journey across Germany into something far more meaningful than an ordinary vacation. As our adventure continues, we'll leave behind these fascinating facts and step into the landscapes, cities, castles, mountains, and hidden treasures that have made Germany one of Europe's most captivating travel destinations. Each new destination will reveal another unforgettable chapter in the remarkable story of this extraordinary country. As the morning sun rises over southern Germany, the landscape slowly transforms into a masterpiece of green meadows, sparkling rivers, and distant alpine peaks. Nestled at the edge of the Bavarian Alps lies a city where centuries-old traditions blend effortlessly with innovation, elegance, and a passion for celebrating life. Welcome to Munich, the capital of Bavaria and one of Germany's most captivating destinations. More than simply a gateway to the Alps, Munich is a city that perfectly reflects the soul of Germany, where history is preserved with pride while modern culture continues to flourish. From the very first moment you arrive, Munich reveals an atmosphere unlike any other European city. Wide boulevards lined with elegant architecture lead into lively squares where street musicians perform beneath historic church towers. Cafes spill onto cobblestone streets, their terraces filled with locals enjoying freshly brewed coffee and warm pastries as church bells echo gently through the morning air. There is a calm confidence here, a city that never feels rushed, inviting visitors to slow down and truly experience every moment. The story of Munich began more than 8 centuries ago when a small settlement of monks grew into an important trading center. Over time, powerful Bavarian rulers transformed the city into a political, artistic, and cultural capital whose influence stretched far beyond its borders. Today, traces of that remarkable history remain everywhere. Ornate palaces, majestic churches, and beautifully preserved streets tell stories of kings, artists, scientists, and visionaries who shaped Bavaria through generations. At the very heart of the city lies Marienplatz, Munich's historic central square and one of Germany's most recognizable landmarks. For centuries, this square has been the beating heart of civic life, witnessing royal celebrations, bustling markets, political events, and everyday gatherings. Towering above it all is the magnificent New Town Hall, an extraordinary example of neo-Gothic architecture adorned with intricate carvings, soaring towers, and elegant stonework that appears almost too detailed to be real. Every day, visitors gather beneath its grand facade to witness one of Munich's most beloved traditions. High above the square, the famous Glockenspiel comes to life as dozens of life-sized figures rotate through carefully choreographed scenes that recreate important moments from Bavarian history. Bells ring across the square while crowds pause to watch this charming mechanical performance, a tradition that has delighted generations of travelers from around the world. A short walk away stands another symbol of Munich's enduring faith and architectural beauty, the Frauenkirche. Its twin domes dominate the city's skyline, visible from nearly every direction. Step inside, and the lively sounds of the streets fade into peaceful silence. Sunlight filters through stained glass windows, illuminating towering columns and centuries-old artwork that remind visitors of the city's deep spiritual heritage. Legends surrounding mysterious footprints inside the cathedral add another layer of intrigue to this remarkable landmark, blending history with folklore in true Bavarian fashion. Yet, Munich is far more than its historic monuments. It is also one of Europe's greenest cities, where nature is woven seamlessly into everyday life. The Englischer Garten stretches across the city like an enormous natural sanctuary, even larger than New York's Central Park. Here, locals jog beneath ancient trees, families gather for picnics beside peaceful streams, and cyclists glide along winding paths surrounded by lush landscapes. Hidden beer gardens welcome visitors beneath shaded chestnut trees, while surfers perform astonishing tricks on the Eisbach wave, an artificial river current that has become one of Munich's most unexpected attractions. Few places capture Bavaria's spirit better than its traditional beer gardens. Long wooden tables fill with friends, families and travelers sharing conversations beneath towering trees. Glasses of locally brewed beer reflect the afternoon sunlight, while plates of pretzels, roasted meats, sausages and creamy potato salad showcase the rich flavors of Bavarian cuisine. Music drifts gently through the air, laughter echoes between tables, and strangers often become friends over shared meals and unforgettable conversations. Here, hospitality isn't simply a tradition, it's a way of life. For lovers of history and royalty, Munich's Residenz offers an unforgettable journey into the luxurious world of Bavaria's former kings and electors. Once the official residence of the powerful Wittelsbach dynasty, this immense palace complex contains lavish halls, glittering chandeliers, royal apartments, priceless artworks, and magnificent courtyards that reveal centuries of political power and artistic excellence. Every room reflects extraordinary craftsmanship, transporting visitors back to an era of royal grandeur and European elegance. Art enthusiasts soon discover that Munich is one of Germany's greatest cultural capitals. The city's renowned museum district houses masterpieces spanning centuries of artistic achievement. Classical paintings, contemporary installations, ancient sculptures, and groundbreaking modern works coexist within world-class galleries that attract visitors from across the globe. Whether admiring Renaissance masterpieces or cutting-edge contemporary exhibitions, every museum reveals another dimension of Germany's rich creative heritage. Innovation also plays an important role in Munich's identity. The city is home to some of Germany's most influential technology companies and research institutions, while the BMW Museum celebrates over a century of automotive engineering and design. Here, beautifully restored classic vehicles stand alongside futuristic concept cars, illustrating how imagination and precision continue driving German innovation into the future. Even visitors with little interest in automobiles often leave inspired by the remarkable story of engineering excellence and creative ambition. As evening approaches, Munich reveals yet another personality. Golden sunlight bathes historic buildings, while cafes, restaurants, and lively squares fill with people enjoying the city's relaxed atmosphere. Street performers entertain crowds beneath illuminated landmarks as locals gather for evening walks through elegant boulevards and peaceful parks. The scent of freshly baked pastries mixes with traditional Bavarian dishes drifting from welcoming restaurants, creating an atmosphere that feels both vibrant and wonderfully intimate. Of course, no visit to Munich would be complete without experiencing the city during Oktoberfest. For just a few extraordinary weeks each autumn, Munich becomes the center of one of the world's greatest cultural celebrations. Millions of visitors arrive dressed in traditional Bavarian clothing, filling enormous festival tents with music, dancing, laughter, and joyful celebration. Yet beyond the famous beer, Oktoberfest is a tribute to Bavarian heritage, craftsmanship, music, family traditions, and community spirit. It is a celebration where history comes alive through every song, every costume, and every shared toast. Beyond the city's elegant streets lies another reason travelers choose Munich as their starting point. The breathtaking Bavarian Alps rise just beyond the horizon, offering easy access to crystal-clear lakes, dramatic mountain landscapes, fairy tale castles, and unforgettable outdoor adventures. This unique combination of sophisticated urban culture and spectacular natural beauty makes Munich unlike almost any other destination in Europe. Whether you're exploring magnificent palaces, relaxing beneath centuries-old trees, discovering world-class museums, tasting authentic Bavarian cuisine, or simply wandering through charming historic streets, Munich leaves an unforgettable impression. It is a city where every square holds a story, every building preserves history, and every experience reminds you why Bavaria has captured the imagination of travelers for generations. As the evening lights begin to shimmer across the city and the distant Alps glow beneath the fading sunset, one thing becomes certain. Munich is far more than Germany's cultural capital. It is the perfect introduction to a country where history, nature, innovation, and timeless traditions come together to create unforgettable journeys that remain in your memory long after the adventure has ended. Leaving behind the elegant streets of Munich, our journey continues toward a landscape where towering mountains rise above emerald valleys, crystal-clear lakes mirror the sky, and every winding road leads to a breathtaking new panorama. This is the Bavarian Alps, Germany's southern frontier, and one of Europe's most spectacular natural treasures. Here, nature takes center stage, creating a world of dramatic peaks, peaceful alpine villages, rushing waterfalls, and endless forests that have inspired artists, mountaineers, and dreamers for centuries. As dawn breaks over the mountains, a golden glow slowly illuminates snow-capped summits while gentle mist drifts through valleys below. Cowbells echo across alpine meadows where wildflowers bloom in vibrant colors during spring and summer. Crystal streams, fed by ancient glaciers, weave their way through forests before flowing into shimmering lakes so clear they seem almost unreal. In every direction, the scenery feels cinematic, reminding visitors why the Bavarian Alps are considered among Germany's greatest natural wonders. Stretching along Germany's southern border with Austria, this magnificent mountain range forms part of the larger Alps, Europe's most famous mountain system. For centuries, these mountains have shaped Bavarian culture, traditions, and lifestyles. Remote farming communities learn to thrive in these rugged landscapes, preserving customs that continue to define the region today. Traditional wooden chalets decorated with colorful flower boxes, handcrafted churches standing proudly against dramatic mountain backdrops, and generations of local families maintaining centuries-old traditions all contribute to the timeless character of this remarkable destination. One of the most iconic gateways to the Bavarian Alps is the charming town of Garmisch-Partenkirchen. Surrounded by towering peaks, this picturesque alpine community perfectly combines natural beauty with Bavarian hospitality. Walking through its peaceful streets feels like entering a postcard. Historic buildings display beautifully painted frescoes that tell stories of local legends, religious traditions, and everyday village life. Cozy cafes invite travelers to relax while enjoying homemade cakes and freshly brewed coffee, while local shops showcase handcrafted wood carvings, traditional clothing, and regional delicacies. The town gained international recognition after hosting the Winter Olympics in 1936, but its true appeal lies far beyond sporting history. Throughout the year, visitors arrive to experience hiking, skiing, climbing, mountain biking, and simply breathing the crisp alpine air that carries the scent of pine forests and wildflowers. Every season transforms the landscape into a completely different masterpiece. Summer paints the valleys in brilliant shades of green, Autumn covers the forests with fiery colors, winter wraps the mountains beneath deep snow, and spring awakens waterfalls and blooming meadows once again. Towering above everything else stands Zugspitze, Germany's highest mountain, reaching nearly 3,000 meters above sea level. Reaching its summit is an unforgettable experience. Modern cable cars glide silently above valleys, forests, and rocky cliffs before arriving at panoramic observation platforms that reveal breathtaking views stretching across Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Italy on clear days. Standing above the clouds, surrounded by endless mountain ranges fading into the horizon, offers a humbling reminder of nature's extraordinary power and beauty. For adventurous travelers, the Bavarian Alps provide an endless network of hiking trails suitable for every level of experience. Gentle paths wind around peaceful lakes and flower-filled valleys, while more challenging routes climb steep ridges toward dramatic peaks. Along the way, hikers discover hidden waterfalls cascading through moss-covered rocks, traditional mountain huts serving hearty Bavarian meals, and quiet viewpoints where the only sounds are birdsong and the gentle breeze moving through alpine forests. Among the region's most beautiful natural attractions is Lake Ibsee, nestled beneath the towering slopes of Zugspitze. Often described as one of Germany's most beautiful lakes, its crystal-clear turquoise waters reflect surrounding mountains with astonishing clarity. Small wooded islands scatter across the lake, creating a landscape so peaceful that it almost feels untouched by time. Visitors kayak across its calm surface, follow scenic walking trails along the shoreline, or simply pause to admire one of Bavaria's most unforgettable views. Hidden within these mountains lies another natural wonder, the Partnach Gorge. Over thousands of years, rushing glacial waters carved a narrow canyon through solid limestone, creating towering rock walls that rise dramatically above roaring turquoise streams. Wooden walkways built into the cliffs allow visitors to journey deep into the gorge, where waterfalls tumble from above and sunlight filters through narrow openings overhead. The experience is both thrilling and peaceful, revealing nature's incredible ability to shape even the hardest stone. Wildlife also flourishes throughout the Bavarian Alps. Golden eagles soar high above rugged cliffs, while marmots whistle from rocky slopes and chamois navigate steep mountainsides with astonishing agility. Dense forests shelter red deer, foxes, and countless bird species, making the region a paradise for photographers and nature enthusiasts. Protected national parks ensure these ecosystems remain preserved for future generations, allowing visitors to experience one of Central Europe's richest natural environments. The Bavarian Alps are not only a place of extraordinary beauty, but also of deep spiritual significance. Historic churches and mountain chapels appear unexpectedly along hiking trails, offering peaceful places for reflection surrounded by spectacular scenery. One of the most famous is the Wieskirche, a UNESCO World Heritage Site renowned for its breathtaking Rococo interior. From the outside, it appears simple and modest. Step inside, however, and visitors are greeted by an explosion of delicate frescoes, golden decorations, and artistic brilliance that leaves a lasting impression. No journey through the Bavarian Alps would be complete without experiencing the warmth of alpine hospitality. Traditional mountain huts welcome weary hikers with hearty meals prepared from local ingredients. Fresh cheeses, smoked meats, homemade soups, warm pretzels, and apple strudel are served alongside breathtaking mountain views. Conversations flow easily as travelers and locals gather together, sharing stories while overlooking valleys bathed in golden afternoon light. Winter transforms the Bavarian Alps into a magical, snow-covered paradise. Ski resorts come alive with visitors from around the world, while frozen lakes shimmer beneath brilliant blue skies. Snow-covered forests create peaceful landscapes perfect for cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, and horse-drawn sleigh rides through quiet villages decorated with festive lights. The atmosphere becomes almost dreamlike, offering unforgettable moments that feel lifted straight from a classic winter fairy tale. Yet perhaps the greatest gift of the Bavarian Alps is not simply their beauty, but the sense of peace they inspire. In a world often defined by constant movement, these mountains invite travelers to slow down, breathe deeply, and reconnect with nature. Whether standing atop Germany's highest peak, walking beside crystal-clear lakes, or watching the sun disappear behind distant alpine ridges, every moment becomes a reminder of how extraordinary our planet truly is. As the final rays of sunlight paint the mountains in shades of gold, orange, and crimson, the Bavarian Alps leave an unforgettable impression upon every traveler fortunate enough to experience them. They are not merely a destination, but a place where adventure meets tranquility, where centuries-old traditions live in harmony with untouched wilderness, and where every sunrise promises another breathtaking discovery. From these majestic peaks, our journey across Germany now continues toward another remarkable chapter, revealing even more of the country's timeless beauty and extraordinary cultural heritage. As our journey leaves behind the peaceful peaks of southern Germany, the scenery begins to transform once again. Towering mountains gradually give way to rolling hills, winding rivers, and historic cities whose skylines have been shaped by centuries of faith, commerce, and culture. Our next destination takes us to one of Germany's oldest and most charismatic cities, a place where Gothic architecture dominates the horizon. Colorful riverside neighborhoods invite endless exploration, and every street echoes with stories spanning nearly 2,000 years. Welcome to Cologne, a city where ancient history and modern creativity exist in perfect harmony. Long before Cologne became one of Germany's largest cities, it began as a Roman settlement more than 2,000 years ago. Its strategic location along the mighty Rhine River transformed it into an important center of trade and culture, connecting northern Europe with the Mediterranean world. Over the centuries, emperors, merchants, artists, and pilgrims all passed through its gates, leaving behind layers of history that continue to shape the city's identity today. The first sight that captures every visitor's attention is impossible to ignore. Rising dramatically above the skyline stands Cologne Cathedral, one of the greatest masterpieces of Gothic architecture ever created. Its twin spires soar more than 150 meters into the sky, making it one of the tallest cathedrals in the world. Construction began in the 13th century, yet the cathedral would take more than 600 years to complete, a remarkable achievement reflecting generations of craftsmanship, determination, and faith. Standing before its immense facade is a humbling experience. Thousands of intricate stone carvings cover every surface, depicting saints, angels, biblical scenes, and decorative patterns that reveal astonishing artistic detail. Every tower, archway, and stained glass window tells part of a story that has inspired visitors for centuries. Step inside, and the atmosphere changes instantly. Soft light pours through magnificent stained glass windows, illuminating towering columns that seem to disappear into the heavens. Silence fills the vast interior, interrupted only by distant footsteps and the quiet whispers of visitors admiring one of Europe's greatest architectural treasures. Among the cathedral's most precious treasures lies the Shrine of the Three Kings, an extraordinary golden reliquary believed by many to contain the remains of the biblical Magi. Pilgrims have journeyed here for centuries, making Cologne one of Christianity's most significant spiritual destinations. Whether viewed through the eyes of faith, history, or architecture, the cathedral leaves an unforgettable impression upon everyone who enters. Beyond the cathedral, Cologne reveals a completely different personality. The Altstadt, or Old Town, stretches along the Rhine River with colorful buildings, lively squares, and narrow streets filled with cafes, restaurants, and local breweries. Although much of the city suffered devastating destruction during the Second World War, careful reconstruction has preserved its historic character, allowing visitors to experience the charm of medieval Cologne while enjoying the comforts of a vibrant modern city. Walking through the Old Town is an experience filled with unexpected discoveries. Cobblestone streets lead past historic fountains, charming churches, artisan shops, and bustling market squares where locals gather throughout the day. Street musicians perform beneath centuries-old buildings, while the aroma of freshly baked pastries and traditional German dishes drifts through the air. Every corner offers another invitation to pause, explore, and absorb the city's welcoming atmosphere. Flowing gracefully through Cologne, the Rhine River has shaped the city's destiny for nearly 2,000 years. One of Europe's longest and most important waterways, the Rhine has carried merchants, explorers, armies, and travelers across the continent for centuries. Today, scenic promenades line its banks, creating peaceful spaces where visitors stroll, cycle, or simply relax while watching elegant riverboats glide across the water. As sunset approaches, the cathedral reflects beautifully upon the river's surface, creating one of Germany's most iconic views. For those wishing to experience Cologne from a different perspective, a river cruise offers an unforgettable journey. As the city slowly unfolds from the water, its magnificent skyline becomes even more impressive. Historic churches, graceful bridges, modern architecture, and bustling waterfront districts blend together into a panorama that perfectly captures Cologne's unique character. The famous Hohenzollern Bridge, decorated with thousands of colorful lovelocks, stretches proudly across the Rhine, symbolizing both the city's industrial strength and its enduring romantic spirit. Cologne is also a city that celebrates creativity. Art lovers will find themselves surrounded by remarkable museums housing collections that span thousands of years. The Museum Ludwig showcases masterpieces of modern and contemporary art, including works by Pablo Picasso, Andy Warhol, and many other internationally celebrated artists. Nearby museums preserve Roman artifacts, medieval treasures, and fascinating exhibitions that reveal the city's rich cultural heritage from ancient times to the present day. Music and performance have long been part of Cologne's identity as well. Throughout the year, theaters, concert halls, and public squares host festivals celebrating classical music, jazz, opera, and contemporary performances. During the warmer months, outdoor events fill the city with energy, bringing together residents and visitors beneath open skies to celebrate art, culture, and community. Perhaps no celebration reflects Cologne's joyful spirit more than its world-famous carnival. Every year, the city transforms into one enormous festival where colorful costumes, lively parades, marching bands, and elaborate floats fill the streets with excitement. Locals embrace the celebration with remarkable enthusiasm, welcoming visitors into a tradition that has become one of Europe's largest and most spectacular cultural festivals. For several unforgettable days, laughter replaces routine, music echoes through every neighborhood, and Cologne becomes a city united by celebration. Food is another essential part of the Cologne experience. Traditional breweries serve the city's famous Kölsch beer, a light and refreshing brew protected by regional tradition and enjoyed almost exclusively within the Cologne area. Served in slender glasses by attentive waiters who seem to appear before your glass is empty, Kölsch reflects the city's unique customs and welcoming hospitality. Alongside local specialties such as hearty sausages, potato dishes, and freshly baked rye bread, every meal becomes another opportunity to experience Cologne's rich culinary heritage. As evening arrives, the city reveals yet another layer of its personality. Historic buildings glow beneath carefully placed lights, while restaurants fill with conversation and music drifts through lively streets. Couples walk hand in hand along the riverbanks. Photographers capture the illuminated cathedral against the night sky, and cafes remain filled with both locals and travelers, sharing stories long into the evening. There is a warmth to Cologne that extends beyond its architecture or history. It is a city that welcomes people with open arms, encouraging everyone to feel at home. Cologne is more than one of Germany's oldest cities. It is a place where Roman foundations support Gothic masterpieces, where centuries of history inspire modern creativity, and where traditions continue to thrive alongside innovation. Every church, every riverside view, every bustling square, and every quiet alley contributes to a destination that leaves a lasting impression on all who visit. As the cathedral's towering silhouette fades into the evening sky, and the gentle waters of the Rhine continue their timeless journey toward the sea, Cologne reminds us that the greatest cities are not defined only by monuments, but by the stories they preserve and the people who bring them to life. And with countless more wonders still waiting to be discovered, our cinematic adventure across Germany continues toward another legendary landscape, where dense forests, ancient legends, and breathtaking natural beauty await beyond the horizon. Leaving behind the timeless skyline of Cologne, our journey now leads us into a landscape where nature becomes the storyteller. The bustling streets slowly disappear behind rolling hills, winding country roads, and endless forests stretching toward the horizon. Mist rises gently through towering pine trees as the first rays of sunlight filter across hidden valleys, sparkling rivers, and quiet villages that seem untouched by time. This is the legendary Black Forest, one of Germany's most enchanting natural regions, where breathtaking scenery, ancient folklore, and centuries-old traditions come together in perfect harmony. For generations, the Black Forest has captured the imagination of travelers, writers, and artists alike. Covering thousands of square kilometers in southwestern Germany, this vast mountain range is blanketed with dense evergreen forests so deep and mysterious that they inspired countless myths and fairy tales. Long before modern roads crossed these mountains, local communities believed the forests were home to magical creatures, wandering spirits, and hidden kingdoms concealed beneath ancient trees. Even today, walking beneath the towering pines, it is easy to understand why these landscapes became the backdrop for some of Europe's most beloved legends. As morning unfolds across the forest, sunlight dances through the branches, creating shifting patterns of light and shadow along quiet woodland paths. Birds sing from the treetops, while crystal-clear streams tumble over smooth stones, eventually joining rivers that carve their way through deep valleys. Every breath carries the fresh scent of pine, moss, and mountain air, offering an immediate sense of peace that few places in Europe can match. The Black Forest is a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts. Thousands of kilometers of well-maintained hiking trails invite visitors to explore landscapes ranging from gentle valleys to dramatic mountain ridges. Some paths lead through silent forests where the only sounds are rustling leaves and flowing water. Others reveal breathtaking viewpoints overlooking endless hills layered in shades of green and blue. Whether hiking for an afternoon or embarking on multi-day adventures, every trail offers unforgettable encounters with Germany's natural beauty. Among the region's most rewarding experiences is reaching one of its panoramic peaks just before sunset. As the golden light spreads across endless forests, distant villages begin to glow beneath the fading sky. Church towers emerge from morning mist, winding rivers reflect the changing colors of the horizon, and mountain ridges gradually disappear into soft shades of purple and blue. Moments like these remind travelers that true beauty often lies in nature's quiet simplicity. Scattered throughout these forests are charming villages where traditions have remained remarkably unchanged for centuries. Beautiful timber-framed houses, decorated with flower-filled balconies, stand beside peaceful streams, while family-owned bakeries fill the air with the comforting aroma of freshly baked bread and traditional cakes. Local artisans continue practicing crafts handed down through generations, producing delicate wood carvings, handcrafted furniture, and the world-famous cuckoo clocks that have become enduring symbols of the Black Forest. The story of the cuckoo clock began in these mountains nearly 3 centuries ago. Skilled craftsmen transformed locally sourced wood into remarkable timepieces, combining engineering precision with artistic creativity. Today, visitors can step inside workshops where master clockmakers continue building these intricate creations by hand, preserving techniques that have become part of Germany's cultural heritage. Watching a handcrafted cuckoo clock spring to life is like witnessing history continue before your eyes. The Black Forest is also home to one of Germany's most celebrated culinary creations, the famous Black Forest cake. Layers of rich chocolate sponge, fresh whipped cream, juicy cherries, and delicate chocolate shavings combine to create a dessert recognized around the world. While countless versions exist internationally, tasting an authentic slice prepared in its birthplace offers an entirely different experience. Paired with freshly brewed coffee in a traditional mountain cafe, it becomes one of the region's simplest yet most memorable pleasures. Flowing through the heart of the forest are countless rivers and waterfalls, each adding another dimension to the landscape. One of the most spectacular is the Triberg waterfall, where rushing water cascades dramatically through dense woodland over several rocky terraces before disappearing into the valley below. Wooden pathways allow visitors to experience the falls from multiple viewpoints, while the surrounding forest creates a peaceful atmosphere that feels wonderfully removed from modern life. Among the Black Forest's greatest treasures lies the beautiful Titisee, a crystal-clear glacial lake surrounded by forested hills and picturesque villages. During summer, its calm waters invite visitors to enjoy boating, swimming, paddleboarding, or simply relaxing along peaceful lakeside promenades. In winter, the scenery transforms completely as snow blankets the surrounding mountains, creating a magical setting worthy of a storybook illustration. Nature here changes dramatically with every season. Spring awakens colorful wildflowers across alpine meadows, while rivers surge with melting snow. Summer fills forests with vibrant greenery and endless opportunities for hiking and cycling. Autumn transforms the entire landscape into a breathtaking display of crimson, amber, and golden leaves that attract photographers from around the world. Winter covers everything beneath a blanket of snow, turning the Black Forest into a peaceful wonderland ideal for skiing, snowshoeing, and quiet escapes into nature. Nestled on the western edge of the forest lies the elegant city of Freiburg im Breisgau, often considered Germany's sunniest city. With its beautifully preserved medieval center, lively university atmosphere, and strong commitment to sustainability, Freiburg offers a perfect blend of history and innovation. Narrow cobblestone streets lead toward the magnificent Freiburg Minster, whose soaring Gothic tower has watched over the city for more than 7 centuries. Climb its heights, and you'll be rewarded with panoramic views stretching across rooftops toward the distant Black Forest Mountains. One of Freiburg's most charming features is its historic Bächle, narrow water channels that gently flow alongside the streets throughout the old town. Originally built during the Middle Ages to provide water and help prevent fires, these small streams now add unique character to the city while creating a refreshing atmosphere during warmer months. According to local legend, anyone who accidentally steps into one of the channels is destined to marry someone from Freiburg, a playful tradition that continues to amuse visitors today. Beyond its historic beauty, Freiburg has become an international model for environmental sustainability. Extensive cycling networks, eco-friendly neighborhoods, renewable energy initiatives, and carefully preserved green spaces demonstrate how modern cities can grow while protecting the natural environment. Here, centuries-old architecture and forward-thinking innovation exist side by side, creating one of Germany's most livable urban landscapes. Yet, perhaps what makes the Black Forest truly unforgettable is not simply its scenery, but the emotions it inspires. There is something timeless about walking beneath ancient trees, listening to birdsong echo through quiet valleys, or watching sunlight filter gently across forest trails. Every step invites reflection. Every viewpoint rewards patience. Every village reminds visitors that beauty often flourishes where tradition and nature remain closely connected. As evening settles across the mountains, soft mist once again rises between towering pines while distant church bells drift gently through the valleys. The forest slowly returns to silence, preserving the same mysterious atmosphere that has inspired countless legends for centuries. Leaving this extraordinary landscape behind, one thing becomes certain. The Black Forest is not merely a destination on a map. It is an experience that awakens curiosity, restores peace, and reminds every traveler why Germany's natural wonders continue to captivate the world. Ahead, our journey carries us toward another remarkable city where gleaming skyscrapers, rich history, and vibrant culture reveal yet another fascinating face of Germany. As the peaceful silence of the Black Forest fades into the distance, Germany reveals yet another remarkable transformation. Dense woodlands give way to broad river valleys, elegant skylines, and one of Europe's most influential financial centers. At first glance, the towering glass skyscrapers might remind you of New York or Singapore, but look a little closer and you'll discover medieval squares, centuries-old churches, traditional cider taverns, and a cultural heritage that stretches back more than 1,000 years. Welcome to Frankfurt, a city where Germany's future rises beside its remarkable past. Located on the banks of the Main River, Frankfurt occupies a strategic position at the heart of Europe. For centuries, merchants, scholars, kings, and travelers have gathered here, transforming the city into one of the continent's most important crossroads. Today, it is home to the European Central Bank, one of the world's busiest international airports and one of the largest financial districts in Europe. Yet despite its modern image, Frankfurt remains deeply connected to its history, preserving traditions that continue to shape everyday life. The city's skyline is unlike anywhere else in Germany. Gleaming towers of steel and glass rise high above the river, creating a dramatic contrast with the historic architecture below. As the morning sun reflects from their mirrored surfaces, Frankfurt earns its famous nickname, Mainhattan, a tribute to both the Main River and its resemblance to Manhattan's iconic skyline. Yet these skyscrapers represent more than economic power. They symbolize Germany's remarkable ability to embrace innovation while respecting the foundations upon which the nation was built. Walking through Frankfurt's financial district, you'll encounter some of Europe's most impressive examples of modern architecture. Elegant office towers stand beside public art installations, peaceful plazas, and tree-lined avenues where professionals from every corner of the world begin their day. International languages fill the air, reflecting Frankfurt's role as one of the world's truly global cities. Just a short walk away, however, the atmosphere changes completely. The modern skyline gradually gives way to Römerberg, Frankfurt's beautifully restored medieval heart. Here, colorful half-timbered buildings surround a historic square that has served as the city's civic center for centuries. Although much of Frankfurt was destroyed during the Second World War, painstaking reconstruction has returned Römerberg to its former beauty, allowing visitors to experience the charm of medieval Germany in remarkable detail. At the center of the square stands the Römer, Frankfurt's historic town hall. For over 600 years, this magnificent building has witnessed royal coronations, political ceremonies, public celebrations, and countless moments that shaped German history. Its distinctive stepped gables have become one of the city's most recognizable landmarks, attracting visitors who pause to admire its timeless elegance. The surrounding streets invite endless exploration. Traditional cafes occupy centuries-old buildings, artisan shops display handcrafted goods, and open-air markets fill the square with local produce, flowers, and regional specialties. Every corner reveals another glimpse into Frankfurt's rich cultural heritage, proving that even one of Europe's most modern cities continues to cherish its historic soul. Flowing gracefully through the city is the Main River, whose waters have supported trade and commerce for generations. Today, the riverbanks provide one of Frankfurt's most relaxing escapes. Wide promenades lined with trees invite cyclists, joggers, families, and visitors to enjoy peaceful walks while admiring spectacular views of both the historic Old Town and the glittering financial district. As evening approaches, the skyscrapers reflect beautifully upon the calm water, creating one of Germany's most striking urban landscapes. One of the best ways to appreciate Frankfurt's unique character is from the water itself. River cruises glide gently beneath elegant bridges, offering panoramic views that reveal how seamlessly history and modernity coexist. On one side, centuries-old churches and medieval buildings preserve the city's heritage. On the other, contemporary skyscrapers symbolize Germany's role as a global leader in finance, innovation, and international cooperation. Frankfurt is also one of Germany's greatest cultural capitals. Along the southern bank of the Main lies the famous Museumsufer, or Museum Embankment, home to an extraordinary collection of museums covering art, architecture, film, archaeology, natural history, communication, and world cultures. Few cities offer such remarkable diversity within such a compact area, making Frankfurt a paradise for curious travelers. Among these institutions, the Stadel Museum stands as one of Germany's most celebrated art galleries. Its collection spans more than 700 years, featuring masterpieces by artists including Rembrandt, Vermeer, Monet, Renoir, Picasso, and countless others. Walking through its galleries becomes a journey across European artistic history, where each room reveals another chapter of humanity's creative achievement. Frankfurt also holds a special place in literary history as the birthplace of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, Germany's greatest writer and one of Europe's most influential literary figures. His beautifully restored childhood home offers visitors an intimate glimpse into the early life of the man whose works continue inspiring readers around the world. Original furnishings, family belongings, and carefully preserved interiors create the feeling that Goethe himself has only just stepped outside. Beyond museums and monuments, Frankfurt thrives through its vibrant culinary traditions. While visitors often associate Germany with beer, Frankfurt proudly celebrates another beloved local specialty, Apfelwein or apple wine. Served in traditional taverns throughout the historic Sachsenhausen district, this refreshing drink has been enjoyed for centuries alongside hearty regional dishes such as green sauce, sausages, roasted pork, and freshly baked bread. Dining here offers not only delicious flavors, but also an authentic glimpse into local life. Throughout the year, Frankfurt hosts festivals that transform its streets into lively celebrations of music, food, and culture. The annual Museumsufer Festival fills the riverbanks with concerts, performances, exhibitions, and international cuisine, while the world-famous Frankfurt Book Fair attracts authors, publishers, and readers from nearly every country on Earth. As the largest publishing event in the world, it reflects Germany's enduring commitment to literature, education, and intellectual exchange. When winter arrives, Frankfurt's historic center transforms into a magical Christmas market filled with glowing lights, handcrafted ornaments, festive music, and the comforting aromas of roasted chestnuts, gingerbread, and warm mulled wine. Beneath the illuminated skyline, centuries-old traditions continue bringing families and visitors together, creating an atmosphere that feels both joyful and timeless. Despite its reputation as Germany's financial capital, Frankfurt offers countless moments of tranquility. Palmengarten, one of the country's largest botanical gardens, invites visitors to wander among tropical greenhouses, colorful flower displays, peaceful lakes, and beautifully landscaped gardens. Hidden courtyards, riverside parks, and quiet neighborhoods reveal another side of the city that many first-time visitors never expect to discover. Perhaps what makes Frankfurt truly remarkable is its extraordinary balance. It is a city where medieval churches stand beneath soaring skyscrapers, where global finance coexists with traditional cider taverns, and where centuries of history continue shaping one of Europe's most forward-looking destinations. Every street tells two stories at once, one rooted in the past and another reaching confidently toward the future. As twilight settles across the main river, the city's skyline begins to sparkle with thousands of lights reflected upon the water below. Historic squares grow peaceful, while modern towers continue illuminating the night sky, symbolizing a city that never stops evolving. Frankfurt reminds us that progress and tradition need not compete. Instead, they can exist side by side, creating destinations that are as inspiring as they are unforgettable. Our journey now continues eastward, where another city awaits. A place that rose from unimaginable destruction to become one of Europe's greatest cultural treasures, proving that beauty, resilience, and hope can emerge even from history's darkest chapters. As we leave behind Frankfurt's glittering skyline, our journey takes us eastward to a city that tells one of Europe's most extraordinary stories of resilience, beauty, and rebirth. Flowing gracefully along the banks of the Elbe River, Dresden welcomes visitors with magnificent Baroque architecture, elegant gardens, grand palaces, and a cultural heritage so rich that it has earned the nickname the Florence on the Elbe. Few cities in Europe have experienced such dramatic transformation, rising from near destruction to once again become one of Germany's greatest artistic and historical treasures. Approaching Dresden for the first time is an unforgettable experience. The city's graceful skyline rises above the Elbe, where church domes, palace towers, and historic bridges create a breathtaking panorama reflected perfectly in the calm waters below. It is difficult to imagine that only a few generations ago, much of this magnificent city lay in ruins. Today, careful restoration has returned Dresden to its former glory, allowing visitors to experience the elegance and grandeur that once made it one of Europe's most admired capitals. The history of Dresden stretches back more than 8 centuries, but its golden age arrived during the reign of Augustus the Strong, Elector of Saxony and King of Poland. Determined to transform his capital into one of Europe's finest cities, he invited renowned architects, sculptors, painters, and craftsmen from across the continent. Their vision gave birth to magnificent Baroque masterpieces that continue to captivate millions of visitors today. At the heart of Dresden stands one of its most remarkable symbols, the Frauenkirche. Its massive sandstone dome dominates the skyline, representing not only architectural brilliance, but also the resilience of an entire nation. During the devastating bombing of Dresden in 1945, the church collapsed into a mountain of rubble, remaining untouched for decades as a memorial to the horrors of war. Following Germany's reunification, an extraordinary international effort carefully reconstructed the cathedral stone by stone, using thousands of original blocks wherever possible. Today, stepping inside the Frauenkirche is an emotional experience. Soft sunlight filters through tall windows, illuminating graceful arches, elegant galleries, and a magnificent altar restored to breathtaking beauty. Visitors from around the world gather in quiet admiration, not only appreciating its architecture, but also recognizing it as a powerful symbol of reconciliation, hope, and peace. Just a short walk away lies another architectural masterpiece, the Zwinger Palace. Built as a royal palace and ceremonial courtyard, it remains one of the finest examples of Baroque design in Europe. Ornate fountains sparkle beneath elaborate sculptures, while beautifully landscaped gardens invite peaceful strolls between elegant galleries and grand pavilions. Every detail reflects the extraordinary artistic ambition that once defined the Saxon royal court. Inside the Zwinger, art lovers discover one of Germany's greatest treasures, the Old Masters Picture Gallery. Here, masterpieces by Raphael, Rembrandt, Vermeer, Rubens, Titian, and countless other legendary artists fill magnificent halls that rival the finest museums in the world. Among them hangs Raphael's celebrated Sistine Madonna, one of the most admired paintings in European art history. Standing before these timeless works creates an unforgettable connection between past and present, reminding visitors how deeply art can shape human civilization. The nearby Dresden Royal Palace continues this journey through history. Once home to Saxony's rulers, its lavish halls preserve priceless collections of royal treasures, ceremonial weapons, jewelry, and decorative arts. The Green Vault, one of Europe's most famous treasure chambers, dazzles visitors with intricate goldsmith masterpieces, rare gemstones, ivory carvings, and objects crafted with astonishing precision. Every room reveals another chapter of royal luxury and artistic excellence. Yet Dresden is far more than its magnificent buildings. The city itself possesses a unique atmosphere that invites exploration at a leisurely pace. Cobbled streets wind through beautifully restored neighborhoods where elegant cafes, artisan boutiques, and traditional restaurants create a welcoming rhythm of daily life. Street musicians perform beneath historic facades, while locals and visitors gather in lively squares filled with laughter and conversation. There is a quiet sophistication here that reflects centuries of cultural refinement. The Elbe River serves as Dresden's lifeblood, offering spectacular views from every angle. Walking along its wide riverside promenades, visitors encounter graceful gardens, tree-lined pathways, and historic terraces that reveal panoramic views of the city's architectural skyline. As riverboats glide peacefully beneath elegant bridges, the reflections of church domes and palace towers shimmer across the water, creating scenes that have inspired painters for generations. One of the most beautiful viewpoints is Brühl's Terrace, often called the Balcony of Europe. Elevated above the Elbe, this historic promenade offers sweeping vistas across the river toward Dresden's magnificent skyline. During sunset, the warm golden light transforms the sandstone buildings into glowing works of art, while musicians fill the air with gentle melodies, creating one of Germany's most romantic evening experiences. Dresden also celebrates music with remarkable passion. The Semper Opera House stands among Europe's greatest opera venues, admired not only for its elegant Renaissance revival architecture, but also for its exceptional acoustics and world-class performances. Throughout the year, audiences gather to experience opera, ballet, and orchestral concerts, performed within one of Germany's most prestigious cultural institutions. Even those who never attend a performance cannot help but admire the building's extraordinary beauty from the outside. The city's connection to craftsmanship extends far beyond architecture and music. For centuries, Dresden has been renowned for porcelain, fine glass, and decorative arts that continue to attract collectors from around the world. Local workshops preserve these traditional skills while introducing contemporary creativity, demonstrating how artistic heritage remains alive within modern Germany. During the winter months, Dresden transforms into one of Europe's most enchanting holiday destinations. Its famous Striezelmarkt, founded in the 15th century, is considered one of the oldest Christmas markets in the world. Beneath thousands of sparkling lights, wooden stalls offer handcrafted ornaments, festive decorations, traditional toys, roasted almonds, gingerbread, and warm mulled wine. The scent of cinnamon and baked pastries fills the crisp winter air, while choirs perform seasonal music beneath beautifully decorated Christmas trees, creating an atmosphere that feels almost magical. Just beyond the city center, elegant parks and vineyards reveal another side of Dresden's charm. The surrounding Saxon countryside offers peaceful walking trails, historic castles, and scenic landscapes that perfectly complement the city's cultural treasures. Whether exploring nearby palaces, cycling along the Elbe, or simply enjoying a quiet afternoon overlooking the river, visitors quickly discover why Dresden has remained beloved for centuries. Perhaps no other city in Germany demonstrates the power of renewal quite like Dresden. It is a place that refused to let tragedy define its future. Instead, through determination, artistry, and international cooperation, it rebuilt not only its monuments, but also its identity. Every restored church, palace, and bridge stands as a reminder that beauty can endure even after unimaginable hardship. As night falls, the illuminated domes and towers reflect peacefully upon the Elbe, creating a scene of remarkable elegance. Dresden leaves every traveler with more than beautiful photographs. It offers a powerful lesson in resilience, reminding us that history's greatest cities are not only shaped by their triumphs, but also by their ability to rise again. Our cinematic journey now continues deeper into Germany, where ancient legends, mysterious mountain landscapes, and timeless folklore await among one of the country's most fascinating natural regions, a place where myths and reality have lived side by side for centuries. Leaving behind the elegant streets and Baroque splendor of Dresden, our journey now leads into one of Germany's most mysterious and enchanting landscapes. Here, dense forests blanket rolling mountains, ancient legends drift through the mist, and medieval towns seem frozen in time. Welcome to the Harz Mountains, a region where history, mythology, and breathtaking natural beauty blend together to create one of Germany's most captivating destinations. Every winding trail, every stone castle, and every hidden valley seems to whisper stories that have echoed across these mountains for centuries. Stretching across central Germany, the Harz Mountains have long been regarded as a place of mystery. Unlike the towering Alps, these mountains possess a quieter, more mysterious charm. Thick forests cover rugged hillsides, crystal-clear lakes reflect drifting clouds, and narrow valleys hide picturesque villages untouched by modern life. As morning mist rises between the pine trees, the landscape feels almost mythical, inviting travelers to step into a world where imagination and reality exist side by side. For generations, these mountains have inspired folklore unlike anywhere else in Germany. Local legends tell of witches gathering on mountain peaks, spirits wandering through moonlit forests, and hidden treasures buried deep beneath ancient rocks. These stories became deeply rooted in German culture, inspiring writers, artists, and composers who transformed the Harz into one of Europe's most legendary landscapes. At the heart of these tales stands the Brocken, the highest mountain in northern Germany. Rising above the surrounding forests, its summit is often wrapped in thick clouds and swirling fog, creating an atmosphere that feels both dramatic and mysterious. For centuries, people believed supernatural beings gathered here during Walpurgis Night, an ancient spring festival celebrated on the night of April 30th. According to folklore, witches would fly across the mountains to dance beneath the moonlight before welcoming the arrival of spring. Today, Walpurgis Night remains one of the Harz Mountains' most fascinating traditions. Every year, villages across the region come alive with colorful celebrations as locals and visitors dress as witches, devils, mythical creatures, and medieval characters. Bonfires illuminate the hillsides, while music, dancing, theatrical performances, and fireworks transform the ancient legends into unforgettable cultural celebrations. It is one of the rare moments when folklore truly comes alive, allowing travelers to experience traditions passed down through countless generations. Reaching the summit of the Brocken is an adventure in itself. One of the most memorable ways to ascend is aboard the historic Brocken Railway, a beautifully preserved steam train that has been climbing these mountains for more than a century. As the locomotive slowly winds through dense forests and open meadows, clouds of steam rise into the cool mountain air, creating scenes that feel as though they belong in another era. Every bend in the track reveals spectacular panoramic views, making the journey as rewarding as the destination itself. Standing atop the Brocken, visitors are rewarded with breathtaking vistas stretching across endless forests and rolling hills. On exceptionally clear days, the view extends for more than 100 kilometers, revealing an ocean of green landscapes reaching toward the horizon. Yet, even when clouds surround the summit, the atmosphere becomes equally magical, with drifting mist creating constantly changing scenes that have inspired countless photographs and paintings. The Harz Mountains are a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts throughout every season. During spring and summer, hundreds of hiking and cycling trails weave through forests, valleys, waterfalls, and rocky cliffs. Gentle paths lead to peaceful lakes and charming villages, while more challenging routes climb rugged peaks, offering spectacular panoramic views. Every trail reveals another hidden corner of this extraordinary landscape, where nature remains wonderfully unspoiled. Autumn transforms the Harz into one of Germany's most colorful destinations. Forests burst into brilliant shades of crimson, amber, and gold as cool mountain air carries the scent of fallen leaves and pine needles. Photographers from around the world arrive to capture the breathtaking contrast between colorful woodlands, medieval castles, and mist-covered mountain ridges. It is a season of remarkable beauty that perfectly complements the region's timeless atmosphere. Winter brings an entirely different experience. Heavy snowfall blankets forests and villages, transforming the Harz into a peaceful wonderland ideal for skiing, snowboarding, sledding, and snowshoeing. Historic towns sparkle beneath festive lights, while mountain trails disappear beneath pristine white landscapes. Steam rises from cozy mountain lodges where travelers warm themselves beside crackling fireplaces after days spent exploring snowy forests. Among the Harz Mountains' greatest treasures are its remarkably preserved medieval towns, each offering a fascinating glimpse into Germany's rich history. One of the finest examples is Goslar, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that appears almost untouched by time. Walking through its cobbled streets feels like entering a medieval painting. Half-timbered houses decorated with colorful flowers line narrow alleys leading toward lively market squares where centuries-old fountains continue flowing as they have for generations. Goslar flourished during the Middle Ages thanks to the nearby Rammelsberg mine, whose rich deposits of silver, copper, and lead helped shape the prosperity of the Holy Roman Empire for more than 1,000 years. Today, visitors can descend into the historic mine to explore underground tunnels that reveal the remarkable engineering skills of medieval miners. Above ground, the Imperial Palace stands proudly as a reminder of the town's former importance, having welcomed emperors and rulers who once governed vast territories from this very place. The Harz is also home to countless hidden lakes, waterfalls, and reservoirs that add another layer of natural beauty to the region. Quiet walking paths circle peaceful waters where reflections of surrounding forests create postcard-perfect scenery. During warmer months, kayakers glide across calm lakes while bird life flourishes along secluded shorelines. These tranquil locations provide perfect escapes for those seeking moments of quiet reflection surrounded by nature. Wildlife thrives throughout the Harz National Park, one of Germany's most important protected landscapes. Red deer roam ancient forests, while lynx, once extinct in the region, have successfully returned thanks to ambitious conservation efforts. Eagles soar above rocky cliffs, and countless bird species find refuge among dense woodlands. The park's commitment to preserving natural ecosystems allows visitors to experience one of Central Europe's richest environments while supporting important conservation initiatives. Yet perhaps the greatest magic of the Harz Mountains lies not only in their landscapes or legends, but in the emotions they awaken. Walking through silent forests, where sunlight filters gently through towering pines, standing atop windswept mountain peaks surrounded by drifting clouds, or listening to the distant whistle of a steam locomotive echoing through the valleys, creates memories that remain long after the journey ends. It is a place where history, folklore, and nature combine to remind us that some destinations are best experienced slowly, allowing every sight, sound and story to unfold naturally. As twilight settles across the mountains, mist once again gathers between ancient trees while village lights begin glowing softly beneath the surrounding hills. The Harz returns to its timeless silence, preserving the mystery that has fascinated generations of travelers. Our adventure now continues northward toward a city where maritime tradition, world-class architecture and vibrant culture come together beside one of Europe's busiest ports. Awaiting us is Hamburg, Germany's magnificent gateway to the sea. As the mist-covered peaks of the Harz Mountains slowly disappear behind us, Germany reveals yet another remarkable transformation. Dense forests give way to broad rivers, busy waterways, and an endless horizon where maritime history has shaped the nation's identity for centuries. Here, the rhythm of life is guided by ships, tides, and international trade. Elegant canals weave through historic districts, magnificent concert halls rise above the harbor, and one of Europe's greatest ports connects Germany to every corner of the world. Welcome to Hamburg, a city where tradition meets innovation, and where every waterfront tells a story of adventure. Situated along the mighty Elbe River, about 100 kilometers from the North Sea, Hamburg has long served as Germany's gateway to the world. For more than 8 centuries, merchants, explorers, sailors and dreamers have departed from its docks in search of distant lands, while ships from every continent have returned carrying treasures, cultures and ideas that helped shape this remarkable city. Today, Hamburg remains one of Europe's largest ports and one of Germany's most vibrant cultural capitals. The first impression of Hamburg is unlike any other German city. Water is everywhere. More than 2,000 bridges cross its rivers, canals and lakes, giving Hamburg even more bridges than Venice, Amsterdam and London combined. Every neighborhood feels connected by shimmering waterways that reflect elegant buildings, historic warehouses, and modern architecture. Whether viewed from a riverside promenade or aboard a passing ferry, the city possesses a timeless relationship with the water that defines its unique character. At the heart of Hamburg lies its magnificent harbor, simply known as the Port of Hamburg. Stretching across vast docks and terminals, this enormous maritime complex has earned the nickname Germany's gateway to the world. Every day, giant container ships, luxury cruise liners, historic sailing vessels and working tugboats navigate the busy waters, creating an impressive display of international commerce and seafaring tradition. Standing along the waterfront, watching these massive ships glide silently past offers a powerful reminder of Hamburg's global importance. One of the best ways to experience the city is by taking a harbor cruise. As the boat slowly moves along the Elbe, passengers enjoy panoramic views of towering cranes, bustling shipping terminals, elegant waterfront neighborhoods, and historic docklands that have powered Hamburg's economy for generations. The journey reveals the fascinating scale of one of Europe's busiest ports, while also showcasing the city's remarkable beauty from the water. Just beyond the harbor stands one of Hamburg's greatest treasures, the Speicherstadt. This extraordinary warehouse district is the largest historic warehouse complex in the world and has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Built during the late 19th century, its magnificent red brick buildings rise dramatically above narrow canals crossed by elegant iron bridges. Once filled with valuable goods such as coffee, tea, spices, silk, and carpets arriving from across the globe, these warehouses now house museums, galleries, cafes, and cultural attractions while preserving the city's remarkable trading heritage. Walking through Speicherstadt feels almost cinematic. Early morning mist drifts across the canals as sunlight reflects from the red brick facades, creating an atmosphere that is both mysterious and beautiful. At night, carefully placed lighting transforms the district into one of Germany's most photogenic locations, with glowing reflections dancing across the calm water beneath centuries-old bridges. Rising gracefully beside the harbor is Hamburg's modern architectural masterpiece, the Elbphilharmonie. This breathtaking concert hall has quickly become one of Europe's most recognizable landmarks. Built atop a former warehouse, its striking glass structure resembles rolling ocean waves or the sails of a magnificent ship, perfectly reflecting Hamburg's deep maritime identity. From a distance, it appears almost to float above the river, blending contemporary design with the city's historic waterfront. Inside, the Elbphilharmonie houses one of the world's most acoustically advanced concert halls. Every seat has been carefully positioned to deliver exceptional sound quality, attracting internationally acclaimed orchestras and musicians throughout the year. Even visitors who do not attend a performance can ascend to the public observation plaza, where spectacular panoramic views stretch across the harbor, the Elbe River, and Hamburg's ever-changing skyline. Beyond its famous landmarks, Hamburg surprises visitors with its remarkable balance between urban energy and peaceful green spaces. At the center of the city lies the beautiful Ulster Lake, divided into two interconnected sections surrounded by elegant promenades, parks, and historic buildings. Sailboats drift peacefully across its calm waters, while joggers, cyclists, and families enjoy the tranquil atmosphere just minutes from the bustling city center. The surrounding neighborhoods reveal another side of Hamburg's personality. Charming streets lined with historic townhouses, independent boutiques, art galleries, and cozy cafes create inviting spaces where locals gather throughout the day. Every district possesses its own unique character, from sophisticated residential areas to creative neighborhoods filled with colorful street art, live music venues, and innovative restaurants representing cuisines from around the world. Hamburg has long been regarded as one of Germany's cultural capitals. Its museums cover everything from maritime history and contemporary art to archaeology and international photography. The International Maritime Museum tells the remarkable story of humanity's relationship with the sea through thousands of fascinating artifacts, while the Kunsthalle showcases masterpieces spanning more than 7 centuries of European art. Together, these institutions reflect Hamburg's commitment to preserving both its heritage and its creative future. Music has always played an important role in the city's identity. Long before becoming global superstars, the Beatles performed hundreds of concerts in Hamburg's lively entertainment district, helping shape their musical careers. Today, live performances continue filling the city's clubs, theaters, concert halls, and festivals with energy throughout the year. Whether enjoying classical music at the Elbphilharmonie or discovering emerging artists in intimate venues, Hamburg remains one of Germany's most exciting musical destinations. One area that often sparks curiosity is the famous Reeperbahn, located in the St. Pauli district. Known internationally for its vibrant nightlife, this lively boulevard comes alive after sunset, with theaters, restaurants, live music venues, comedy clubs, and entertainment of every kind. While it has a colorful history, today's Reeperbahn has evolved into one of Hamburg's most dynamic cultural districts, attracting visitors seeking unforgettable evenings filled with music, creativity, and celebration. Food lovers will quickly discover that Hamburg's maritime heritage extends naturally to its cuisine. Fresh seafood dominates local menus, with specialties such as Fischbrötchen, a delicious fish sandwich served with freshly caught herring, salmon or shrimp, enjoyed by locals and travelers alike. Traditional harbor restaurants also serve hearty regional dishes that reflect generations of seafaring culture, offering authentic flavors deeply connected to northern Germany. Throughout the year, Hamburg hosts festivals that celebrate its unique maritime spirit. The Hamburg Port Anniversary is among the world's largest harbor festivals, drawing millions of visitors who gather to witness spectacular ship parades, fireworks, concerts, and sailing demonstrations. Historic tall ships sail alongside modern vessels while the waterfront fills with music, food, and excitement, transforming the city into one enormous celebration of its nautical heritage. Yet, despite its size and international significance, Hamburg never loses its welcoming atmosphere. Whether watching sunset over the Elbe, strolling quietly beside the Ulster, exploring peaceful canals, or admiring world-class architecture reflected in the harbour waters, visitors soon understand why this remarkable city consistently ranks among Europe's most livable destinations. As darkness settles over the waterfront, thousands of lights illuminate the harbour, their reflections shimmering across the river like countless stars. Massive ships continue their silent journeys toward distant oceans, while church towers and modern skyscrapers stand together against the night sky. Hamburg reminds us that great cities are built not only through commerce and industry, but through culture, creativity, and an enduring connection to the sea. Our cinematic adventure now continues toward one of Germany's most romantic destinations, a city where an ancient castle overlooks winding rivers, cobbled streets inspire poets, and centuries of academic excellence have created an atmosphere unlike anywhere else in Europe. Awaiting us is the timeless beauty of Heidelberg. After experiencing the vibrant waterfronts and maritime energy of Hamburg, our journey now turns toward a place where romance, history, and timeless beauty come together in perfect harmony. Nestled gracefully along the winding Neckar River, surrounded by forested hills and crowned by the magnificent ruins of an ancient castle, Heidelberg feels less like a modern city and more like a beautifully preserved chapter from a European fairy tale. It is a destination that has inspired poets, philosophers, painters, and dreamers for centuries, earning its reputation as one of Germany's most enchanting places. Long before you reach Heidelberg's historic center, the city's iconic silhouette captures your attention. Rising high above the rooftops, the majestic Heidelberg Castle overlooks the valley with quiet authority. Below it, the red-tiled roofs of the old town stretch toward the river, while elegant bridges connect both sides of the Neckar beneath a backdrop of lush green hills. It is a view that has remained remarkably unchanged for generations, inviting visitors into one of Germany's most picturesque landscapes. Heidelberg's history stretches back more than 800 years, but its greatest treasure lies in how beautifully that history has been preserved. Unlike many German cities that suffered extensive damage during the Second World War, Heidelberg escaped much of the destruction. As a result, visitors today can walk through authentic medieval streets where centuries-old buildings, charming squares, and historic churches continue to tell stories of the past without interruption. The heart of the city is its Altstadt, or Old Town, one of the longest and most beautiful pedestrian streets in Europe. Walking along its cobbled pathways feels like stepping into another era. Elegant Baroque buildings stand beside colorful townhouses adorned with flower-filled window boxes, while inviting cafes, traditional bakeries, antique bookstores, and artisan shops line every corner. Street musicians fill the air with gentle melodies, creating an atmosphere that feels both peaceful and alive. Towering above the old town stands Heidelberg Castle, undoubtedly one of Germany's most iconic landmarks. Originally built in the 13th century, the castle evolved over several centuries into a magnificent royal residence before wars, fires, and lightning strikes left portions of it in romantic ruins. Yet rather than diminishing its beauty, these partially restored walls have only added to its timeless charm, transforming the castle into one of Europe's most celebrated symbols of romanticism. Approaching the castle is an unforgettable experience. As visitors climb the winding pathways through lush gardens and ancient gateways, breathtaking views gradually unfold across the city below. Standing within its grand courtyards, surrounded by Renaissance facades and towering stone walls, it becomes easy to imagine the kings, princes, and noble families who once called this extraordinary fortress home. One of the castle's most fascinating attractions is the Great Heidelberg Tun, an enormous wine barrel built during the 18th century. Capable of holding more than 200,000 liters of wine, it remains one of the largest wine barrels ever constructed. While it was rarely filled completely, the barrel symbolized the wealth and importance of the region's flourishing vineyards. Today, visitors marvel at its incredible size while learning about the long history of wine production that continues to shape the surrounding countryside. Perhaps the castle's greatest reward lies not within its walls, but from its terraces. Looking out across the Neckar River, the historic rooftops of Heidelberg glow beneath the changing light, while forest-covered hills stretch toward the distant horizon. At sunrise, soft mist rises gently from the valley. At sunset, golden light bathes the castle in warm hues, creating one of Germany's most unforgettable panoramic views. Flowing quietly beneath the castle is the Neckar River, whose calm waters have shaped Heidelberg's identity for centuries. Crossing the river is the famous Old Bridge, officially known as the Karl Theodor Bridge. Built from warm sandstone and guarded by elegant statues, this historic crossing connects the old town with the opposite hillside, while offering spectacular views of both the castle and the city skyline. Standing at the center of the bridge, visitors are surrounded by scenes that have inspired countless artists, writers, and photographers throughout history. Nearby, one of Heidelberg's most beloved landmarks adds a playful touch to the city's historic atmosphere. The famous Bridge Monkey sculpture invites visitors to place their fingers inside its bronze mirror, a local tradition believed to bring good luck and encourage humility. According to legend, the monkey reminds everyone crossing the bridge that people everywhere share more similarities than differences, regardless of where they come from. Heidelberg is perhaps best known as Germany's oldest university city. Founded in 1386, Heidelberg University has welcomed generations of scholars, scientists, philosophers, and Nobel Prize winners who helped shape European thought. Walking through the university district, visitors encounter elegant lecture halls, historic libraries, and peaceful courtyards where students continue a tradition of academic excellence spanning more than 6 centuries. This scholarly atmosphere has given Heidelberg a youthful energy that perfectly complements its ancient architecture. Students from around the world fill cafes, bookstores, galleries, and riverside parks, creating a vibrant cultural life where innovation thrives alongside tradition. It is this unique combination that makes Heidelberg feel both timeless and wonderfully alive. One of the city's most rewarding experiences awaits those willing to climb the famous Philosopher's Walk. This scenic hillside trail has long attracted poets, writers, and intellectuals seeking inspiration while overlooking the city below. As visitors follow the peaceful pathway through vineyards and gardens, Magnificent panoramic views unfold with every step. Looking across the river toward Heidelberg Castle, the old town, and the surrounding hills, it becomes clear why so many creative minds found inspiration here. Throughout the seasons, Heidelberg reveals new layers of beauty. Spring fills the hillsides with blossoms, while riverside parks burst into color. Summer invites leisurely boat rides and outdoor concerts beneath warm evening skies. Autumn transforms surrounding forests into brilliant shades of gold and crimson, creating breathtaking landscapes reflected in the Neckar. Winter brings festive Christmas markets where twinkling lights, handcrafted gifts, roasted chestnuts, and warm mulled wine create an atmosphere of timeless holiday magic. Food lovers also discover countless delights throughout Heidelberg. Traditional restaurants serve regional specialties, including hearty sausages, roasted meats, handmade dumplings, and freshly baked pretzels, while local bakeries tempt visitors with delicious pastries and cakes. Among the city's sweetest traditions is the Heidelberger Studentenkuss, or student kiss, a famous chocolate treat first created during the 19th century as a discreet gift exchanged between young lovers. Even today, this charming confection continues delighting visitors with both its rich flavor and romantic story. Yet beyond its famous landmarks and historic treasures, Heidelberg's greatest gift is its atmosphere. There is a quiet elegance that fills every street, every riverside path, and every castle courtyard. It is a city where history is never confined to museums, but lives naturally within everyday life. Every walk becomes an invitation to slow down, observe, and appreciate the remarkable harmony between architecture, nature, and culture. As evening falls, the castle glows softly above the illuminated old town, while reflections shimmer across the calm waters of the Neckar River. Church bells echo gently through the valley as cafes fill with conversation beneath centuries-old buildings. Heidelberg reminds us that true beauty often lies not in grandeur alone, but in places where history, romance, and human creativity have quietly flourished together for generations. Our extraordinary journey across Germany now continues toward another remarkable destination, a city where music shaped history, great composers left their legacy, and a spirit of creativity continues to inspire every visitor. Awaiting us next is the vibrant cultural heart of Leipzig. Leaving behind the romantic streets and timeless elegance of Heidelberg, our journey continues deeper into Eastern Germany, where history resonates through concert halls, grand churches, and vibrant public squares. Here, music is not simply performed. It is woven into the city's identity, echoing through centuries of artistic achievement and cultural transformation. Welcome to Leipzig, a destination where legendary composers, revolutionary thinkers, and creative visionaries helped shape both German history and European culture. Every street, every building, and every melody tells the story of a city that has never stopped inspiring the world. Located in the heart of Saxony, Leipzig has stood at the crossroads of European trade, education, and culture for more than 1,000 years. Throughout its long history, merchants crossed continents to reach its famous trade fairs. Scholars gathered within its historic university, and musicians composed masterpieces that continue to captivate audiences around the globe. Today, Leipzig remains one of Germany's fastest-growing cities, blending its remarkable heritage with youthful creativity and modern innovation. The first impression of Leipzig is one of openness and energy. Elegant boulevards lead toward lively public squares where historic buildings stand beside contemporary architecture. Street musicians perform classical compositions outside centuries-old churches, while students, artists, and travelers fill cafes, galleries, and bookstores. It is a city where the past is never forgotten, yet the future is embraced with confidence and imagination. Few cities in the world possess such a profound connection to music. Leipzig is forever linked to one of history's greatest composers, Johann Sebastian Bach. For nearly 3 decades, Bach served as cantor at St. Thomas Church, composing many of his most celebrated works while shaping the city's extraordinary musical tradition. Even today, visitors entering this magnificent Gothic church experience a sense of quiet reverence, knowing they stand where Bach himself once directed choirs and filled the sanctuary with timeless masterpieces. Inside St. Thomas Church rests Bach's final resting place, attracting music lovers from every corner of the world. Throughout the year, the renowned St. Thomas Choir continues the centuries-old tradition established during Bach's lifetime, performing sacred music within the very walls where these compositions first came to life. Hearing these voices rise beneath the soaring vaulted ceiling creates an unforgettable experience that transcends language and time. Yet Bach is only one chapter of Leipzig's remarkable musical story. Felix Mendelssohn also lived and worked here, founding Germany's first conservatory of music and conducting the famous Gewandhaus Orchestra, one of the oldest and most respected orchestras in the world. Today, the modern Gewandhaus Concert Hall continues this extraordinary legacy, welcoming internationally acclaimed musicians who perform everything from classical masterpieces to contemporary compositions before audiences from across the globe. Music seems to accompany every corner of Leipzig. Throughout the year, festivals celebrate composers, orchestras, opera, jazz, and emerging artists, transforming parks, churches, theaters, and public squares into open stages where creativity flourishes. Whether attending a world-class symphony or simply listening to a violinist performing beneath historic arcades, visitors quickly understand why Leipzig remains one of Europe's great musical capitals. Beyond its artistic heritage, Leipzig also played a pivotal role in shaping modern German history. During the peaceful revolution of 1989, thousands of courageous citizens gathered within St. Nicholas Church before marching through the city's streets, demanding freedom and democratic change. These peaceful demonstrations eventually helped bring an end to East Germany's authoritarian regime and contributed to the reunification of Germany. Today, memorials throughout the city honor those whose determination changed the course of European history without violence. Walking through Leipzig's historic center reveals remarkable architectural diversity. Beautiful Renaissance buildings stand beside elegant Baroque palaces, while grand 19th-century shopping arcades connect charming courtyards hidden behind ornate facades. Among these architectural treasures is the Old Town Hall, one of Germany's finest examples of Renaissance civic architecture. Its elegant tower overlooks the lively market square, where seasonal festivals, concerts, and traditional markets continue bringing residents and visitors together throughout the year. Nearby, the Mädler Passage invites travelers into one of Leipzig's most beautiful covered arcades. Marble floors, elegant shopfronts, and graceful archways create an atmosphere of timeless sophistication, while cafes and boutiques preserve the city's long tradition of commerce and craftsmanship. Hidden within this passage lies Auerbach's Cellar, one of Germany's oldest restaurants, immortalized by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe in his legendary work, Faust. Dining here offers not only exceptional regional cuisine, but also the opportunity to experience one of Germany's most celebrated literary settings. Leipzig's reputation as a city of learning remains equally impressive. Founded in 1409, Leipzig University ranks among Europe's oldest universities and has educated generations of influential scientists, philosophers, writers, and political leaders. Its modern campus blends historic buildings with contemporary architecture, reflecting a city that continues investing in knowledge, research, and innovation while respecting its remarkable academic heritage. One of Leipzig's most striking landmarks rises just beyond the city center. The monument to the Battle of the Nations commemorates the decisive battle fought here in 1813 when Allied European forces defeated Napoleon in one of history's largest military confrontations before the 20th century. Towering more than 90 meters above the surrounding landscape, this monumental structure impresses visitors with its massive stone sculptures, grand staircases, and panoramic observation platform. Climbing to the top rewards travelers with sweeping views across Leipzig's skyline and the surrounding Saxon countryside. Nature also plays an important role in Leipzig's appeal. An extensive network of canals, rivers, and lakes weaves through the city, creating opportunities for boating, cycling, and peaceful riverside walks. Known as one of Germany's greenest cities, Leipzig offers countless parks where families gather, musicians perform, and students relax beneath centuries-old trees. The nearby Leipzig Riverside Forest, one of Europe's largest urban forests, provides a tranquil escape where wildlife flourishes just minutes from the bustling city center. Animal lovers will discover another extraordinary attraction at Leipzig Zoo, widely regarded as one of the finest zoological parks in the world. Innovative habitats recreate natural ecosystems from Africa, Asia, and South America, allowing visitors to experience remarkable wildlife while supporting important conservation efforts. Its spectacular tropical rainforest hall creates an immersive environment unlike any other zoo in Europe. Leipzig's culinary scene reflects the city's rich cultural diversity. Traditional Saxon dishes are served alongside international cuisine in lively restaurants and historic taverns, while local bakeries tempt visitors with fresh pastries and regional specialties. Weekly farmers' markets overflow with seasonal produce, handcrafted cheeses, local honey, and artisan breads, celebrating Germany's enduring connection to quality ingredients and regional traditions. As evening approaches, Leipzig transforms once again. Historic churches glow beneath carefully placed lighting, while concert halls prepare for world-class performances. Outdoor cafes fill with conversation, jazz drifts from hidden courtyards, and the sound of church bells echoes gently across the old town. There is a quiet confidence about Leipzig, a city that celebrates its extraordinary past while continuously reinventing itself for future generations. Perhaps what makes Leipzig truly unforgettable is its remarkable harmony between music, history, education, and creativity. Here, artistic genius, peaceful revolution, academic excellence, and youthful innovation coexist naturally within one of Germany's most welcoming cities. Every street invites discovery, every building preserves another chapter of history, and every performance reminds visitors that culture possesses the power to shape nations and inspire humanity. As the final notes of an evening concert fade into the night, Leipzig leaves us with a lasting impression of resilience, creativity, and timeless elegance. Yet Germany's journey is far from complete. Our next destination leads us through one of the country's most breathtaking landscapes, where medieval castles crown dramatic hillsides, world-famous vineyards blanket river valleys, and centuries of history flow alongside two of Europe's most beautiful rivers. Ahead awaits the unforgettable beauty of Rhineland-Palatinate. Leaving behind the musical streets of Leipzig, our journey now moves toward one of Germany's most picturesque regions, where ancient castles rise above winding rivers, vineyards cover dramatic hillsides, and charming villages appear as if painted onto the landscape. Here, history and nature exist together in perfect harmony, creating a destination where every road reveals another breathtaking view. Welcome to Rhineland-Palatinate, a region that captures the romantic spirit of Germany through its legendary rivers, medieval fortresses, and timeless traditions. Located in western Germany, Rhineland-Palatinate is a land shaped by water, wine, and history. The mighty Rhine and Moselle rivers carve their way through valleys surrounded by green hills, creating some of the most beautiful scenery in Europe. For centuries, these waterways have connected communities, supported trade, inspired artists, and witnessed the rise and fall of kingdoms.
Today, they offer travelers a journey through landscapes where every bend in the river reveals another story waiting to be discovered. The first glimpse of this region feels almost unreal. Terraced vineyards climb steep slopes toward the sky. Small villages with colorful half-timbered houses rest beside peaceful rivers, and ancient castles stand proudly above the valleys as silent guardians of the past. It is a landscape that seems designed for exploration, where slow journeys and quiet moments often become the most unforgettable memories. One of the greatest treasures of Rhineland-Palatinate is the legendary Rhine Valley. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, this spectacular stretch of river between Bingen and Koblenz is famous for its dramatic scenery, romantic castles, and centuries-old vineyards. Traveling along the Rhine feels like moving through the pages of European history, with every hilltop fortress and riverside village revealing another chapter from the past. For thousands of years, the Rhine has been one of Europe's most important waterways. Roman armies once traveled along its banks, medieval merchants transported valuable goods between distant cities, and countless legends developed around its mysterious waters. Today, river cruises offer one of the most rewarding ways to experience this extraordinary landscape. Slowly drifting between forest-covered hills and historic castles, passengers witness a panorama that has inspired poets, painters, and travelers for generations. Among the many castles that dominate the Rhine Valley, Marksburg Castle stands as one of the most impressive examples of medieval architecture. Perched high above the river, this fortress has survived centuries of conflict and remains remarkably preserved. Unlike many castles that exist only as ruins, Marksburg offers visitors the rare opportunity to step inside authentic medieval rooms, explore ancient defenses, and imagine life during the age of knights and nobles. Another unforgettable landmark is Eltz Castle, one of Germany's most famous and photographed castles. Hidden within a peaceful forest valley, this extraordinary fortress appears almost untouched by time. Unlike traditional castles built on exposed mountain peaks, Eltz is surrounded by trees, creating an atmosphere of mystery and discovery as visitors follow winding paths through the forest before suddenly revealing its magnificent towers and stone walls. For more than 800 years, Eltz Castle has remained in the possession of the same family, preserving countless generations of history within its walls. Inside, visitors discover beautifully decorated rooms, medieval furniture, ancient weapons, and priceless treasures that reveal the lives of those who once called this remarkable place home. Standing before Eltz Castle, surrounded by forest and silence, it becomes easy to understand why it has become a symbol of Germany's fairy tale landscapes. Beyond castles, Rhineland-Palatinate is equally famous for its vineyards and wine culture. The region is one of Germany's most important wine-producing areas, particularly known for Riesling, a grape variety celebrated around the world for its elegance and unique character. For centuries, vineyards have transformed the hillsides into living works of art, with carefully arranged rows of vines following the natural curves of the landscape. The Moselle Valley is especially famous for its dramatic vineyards. Here, steep slopes rise directly from the river, creating some of the most challenging yet rewarding wine-growing conditions in Europe. Small villages nestled between vineyards preserve traditional winemaking practices, where family-owned wineries continue producing exceptional wines using knowledge passed down through generations. Visiting these villages offers travelers a deeper connection to local life. In places like Kochum and Bacharach, narrow cobblestone streets lead through historic neighborhoods filled with traditional restaurants, wine cellars, and beautifully preserved homes.
During harvest season, the region comes alive with festivals celebrating the year's wine production, bringing together locals and visitors through music, food, and centuries-old traditions. One of the most charming destinations in the Moselle Valley is Kochum, a picturesque town dominated by the magnificent Reichsburg Castle. Rising dramatically above the river, this restored medieval fortress provides breathtaking views across vineyards, forests, and the colorful rooftops below. Walking through Kochum feels like entering a storybook, where every corner reveals another postcard-perfect scene. The region's natural beauty extends far beyond its famous rivers. The Eifel region, located in the northern part of the state, is known for its volcanic lakes, known as Mars, which were formed thousands of years ago by ancient volcanic activity. These crystal-clear lakes, surrounded by green landscapes, provide peaceful escapes for nature lovers and outdoor adventurers. One of the most fascinating natural areas is the Palatinate Forest, Germany's largest continuous forest area. Covering vast stretches of southwestern Rhineland-Palatinate, this protected landscape offers endless opportunities for hiking, cycling, and wildlife observation. Ancient trees, hidden valleys, sandstone cliffs, and quiet trails create an environment where visitors can reconnect with nature away from crowded cities. History is present everywhere throughout Rhineland-Palatinate. The ancient city of Trier, often considered Germany's oldest city, preserves remarkable Roman heritage, including the famous Porta Nigra, a massive stone gate built nearly 2,000 years ago. Walking through Trier feels like traveling across centuries, from Roman civilization to medieval Christianity and beyond. The region also played an important role in the development of European culture and politics. Medieval kingdoms, powerful religious institutions, and influential rulers all left their mark here. Cathedrals, monasteries, fortresses, and historic towns continue preserving these layers of history, allowing visitors to explore Germany's complex and fascinating past. Food is another essential part of the Rhineland-Palatinate experience. Traditional cuisine reflects the region's agricultural heritage, with hearty dishes designed to accompany local wines. Visitors can enjoy specialties such as sausages, regional cheeses, freshly baked breads, potato-based dishes, and seasonal meals prepared with ingredients from nearby farms. Combined with a glass of local Riesling overlooking a vineyard-covered valley, these simple pleasures become unforgettable experiences. Throughout the year, festivals bring energy and celebration to towns across the region. Wine festivals fill village squares with music, dancing, and traditional foods, while river celebrations transform the Rhine and Moselle into spectacular stages of light and color. These events reveal the warm hospitality of local communities and allow travelers to experience traditions that have survived for generations. Perhaps the greatest charm of Rhineland-Palatinate lies in its ability to slow time. Unlike fast-moving cities, this region encourages visitors to pause, explore, and appreciate the small details. The sound of river water flowing beneath ancient bridges, the scent of vineyards after summer rain, the warmth of a family-run winery, and the sight of castles glowing beneath sunset skies create memories that remain long after the journey ends. As evening settles over the valleys, golden light spreads across the vineyards, while castles become silhouettes against the fading sky. The Rhine and Moselle continue their endless journey through the landscape, carrying with them centuries of stories, legends, and dreams. Rhineland-Palatinate is more than a beautiful destination. It is a living museum of nature, culture, and history, where every river bend and mountain path reveals another wonder of Germany. Our adventure now continues toward a city that carries the weight of history while celebrating renewal, creativity, and tradition. A place where imperial castles, famous Christmas markets, and powerful reminders of the past come together. Ahead awaits the historic city of Nuremberg. Leaving behind the romantic valleys, vineyards, and ancient castles of Rhineland-Palatinate, our journey now takes us toward a city where history has left some of its deepest marks. Here, medieval beauty stands beside powerful reminders of the 20th century, creating a destination that reflects both the brilliance and the complexity of human civilization. Welcome to Nuremberg, a city of emperors, craftsmen, traditions, and transformation, where every street tells a story of resilience, remembrance, and renewal. Located in the heart of Bavaria, Nuremberg has been one of Germany's most important cities for nearly 1,000 years. Its strategic location made it a center of trade, politics, and culture throughout the Middle Ages. For centuries, emperors, merchants, artists, and scholars passed through its magnificent gates, contributing to a city that became one of Europe's most influential medieval centers. The first impression of Nuremberg is unforgettable. The historic old town rises around the Pegnitz River, surrounded by ancient walls and dominated by the impressive silhouette of the imperial castle. Red sandstone buildings, narrow cobblestone streets, traditional bridges, and elegant churches create a landscape that feels like a journey back through time. Yet beneath this medieval beauty lies a city that has faced some of history's greatest challenges and emerged stronger with each transformation. At the highest point of the city stands Nuremberg Castle, one of Germany's most significant medieval fortresses. For more than 5 centuries, this impressive complex served as an important residence for Holy Roman emperors during their journeys across the empire. From its towers and courtyards, rulers once viewed the expanding city below, while important political decisions that shaped European history were made within these ancient walls. Exploring the imperial castle feels like stepping into another era. Stone towers rise above the rooftops, defensive walls surround peaceful courtyards, and historic chambers reveal the lifestyle of medieval royalty. Visitors can climb the castle's observation tower for spectacular views across Nuremberg, where the old town's red roofs, church spires, and historic streets create one of Bavaria's most beautiful panoramas. The castle's importance extends beyond architecture. It represents the power and influence Nuremberg held during the medieval period, when the city became a symbol of imperial authority. Merchants traveled from distant regions to participate in its famous markets, while craftsmen produced some of Europe's finest works in metal, wood, and precious materials. This tradition of craftsmanship continues today, reflected in the city's dedication to quality, creativity, and heritage. Descending from the castle into the old town, visitors discover a maze of charming streets filled with centuries-old buildings, local shops, and traditional restaurants. The Hauptmarkt, Nuremberg's central square, remains the heart of the city. Surrounded by magnificent architecture, this historic marketplace has hosted celebrations, markets, and public gatherings for generations. Standing proudly beside the square is the Frauenkirche, the Church of Our Lady, a masterpiece of Gothic architecture built in the 14th century. Its intricate facade and elegant towers dominate the marketplace, while its famous Männleinlaufen clock attracts visitors every day. At noon, mechanical figures emerge and perform a symbolic display honoring Emperor Charles IV, preserving a tradition that has fascinated generations. One of Nuremberg's most beloved traditions is its Christkindlesmarkt, one of the oldest and most famous Christmas markets in the world. Each winter, the historic center transforms into a magical celebration of lights, music, crafts, and seasonal flavors. Wooden stalls decorated with red and white fabrics fill the square, offering handmade ornaments, traditional toys, candles, and delicious regional specialties. The atmosphere during the Christmas season is truly unforgettable. The scent of roasted almonds, gingerbread, and warm mulled wine fills the cold winter air, while choirs perform festive songs beneath glowing decorations. Families gather together, travelers explore the charming stalls, and centuries-old traditions continue creating memories for millions of visitors from around the world. Nuremberg is especially famous for its gingerbread, known as Nürnberger Lebkuchen. This traditional sweet has been produced in the city for hundreds of years, combining spices, nuts, honey, and carefully preserved recipes passed down through generations. Enjoying authentic gingerbread in Nuremberg is more than a culinary experience. It is a taste of history itself. The city's connection to craftsmanship is equally impressive. During the Renaissance period, Nuremberg became home to some of Europe's greatest artists and inventors. Among them was Albrecht Dürer, one of the most influential painters and printmakers in European history. His former home, preserved as a museum, offers visitors insight into Renaissance creativity and the life of a man whose artistic innovations influenced generations. Walking through Nuremberg also reveals its strong connection to German traditions. Historic breweries, local bakeries, and family-owned restaurants continue serving regional specialties that reflect Bavaria's culinary heritage. Famous Nuremberg sausages, traditionally grilled over an open fire and served with sauerkraut or bread, have become one of Germany's most recognizable foods. Sampling these local flavors allows visitors to experience the city's culture through taste. However, Nuremberg's story is not only one of medieval glory and cultural achievement. The city also carries the memory of darker chapters in history. During the 20th century, Nuremberg became associated with the Nazi regime, which held massive propaganda rallies here and later became the location of the famous Nuremberg trials after World War II. The Documentation Center, Nazi Party rally grounds, provides visitors with a deeper understanding of this difficult period. Through exhibitions, photographs, documents, and personal stories, the museum examines how propaganda, power, and ideology shaped one of history's most devastating eras. It serves as a place of education and reflection, reminding future generations of the importance of human rights, justice, and responsibility. The Nuremberg Trials Memorial continues this important mission. Located inside the historic Palace of Justice, where the international military tribunals took place after the war, the memorial explains the significance of these trials and their impact on modern international law. Standing in these rooms offers a powerful reminder that justice and accountability remain essential foundations of peaceful societies. Yet Nuremberg today is not defined only by its past. The city has transformed itself into a vibrant destination where history, innovation, and culture exist together. Modern museums, creative industries, universities, and technology companies have helped create a dynamic atmosphere while preserving the traditions that make Nuremberg unique. Nature also surrounds the city with beautiful opportunities for exploration. Parks, forests, and walking paths provide peaceful escapes from the urban environment, while the Pegnitz River creates scenic routes through historic neighborhoods. Visitors can enjoy quiet moments along the water, cycle through green landscapes, or simply relax while observing the rhythm of everyday life. Throughout the year, Nuremberg hosts festivals and cultural events that celebrate music, art, history, and local traditions. From summer concerts in historic squares to seasonal markets filled with regional flavors, the city continues bringing people together through shared experiences. Perhaps what makes Nuremberg truly remarkable is its ability to embrace every chapter of its story. It celebrates its medieval achievements, preserves memories of difficult times, and continues building a future shaped by creativity and understanding. Few destinations demonstrate so clearly that history is not simply something preserved in books. It is something lived, remembered, and learned from. As evening falls over Nuremberg, the lights of the old town illuminate ancient walls, church towers, and peaceful streets. The imperial castle watches over the city just as it has for centuries, while the sounds of modern life blend with echoes of the past. Nuremberg leaves visitors with a deeper appreciation for the complexity of history and the strength of human resilience. Our journey through Germany now continues toward another fascinating destination, where elegance, fashion, art, and modern creativity come together along the banks of the Rhine River. Ahead awaits Düsseldorf, a city where tradition meets innovation and every corner reveals a new expression of German culture. Leaving behind the historic streets of Nuremberg, our incredible journey through Germany reaches its final chapter in a city where elegance, creativity, and modern innovation meet centuries of tradition. A place where fashion houses stand beside medieval alleys, where art galleries share the streets with historic breweries, and where the banks of the Rhine River create a landscape of endless inspiration. Welcome to Düsseldorf, a city that represents the sophisticated, artistic, and forward-looking spirit of Germany. At first glance, Düsseldorf feels different from many destinations we have explored on this journey. While cities like Nuremberg and Heidelberg reveal Germany's medieval soul, Düsseldorf introduces us to a more modern expression of German culture. It is a city of contrasts, where glass skyscrapers rise beside historic buildings, where luxury shopping streets connect with charming old neighborhoods, and where creativity influences every aspect of daily life. Located in the western state of North Rhine-Westphalia, along the majestic Rhine River, Düsseldorf has grown from a small medieval settlement into one of Germany's most influential cultural and economic centers. Today, it is recognized around the world as a hub for fashion, art, business, architecture, and design. Yet beneath its modern identity lies a city deeply connected to its traditions, proudly preserving the character that makes it truly unique. The journey through Düsseldorf begins at Königsallee, one of the most famous shopping streets in Germany and one of Europe's most elegant boulevards. Known affectionately by locals as Kö, this magnificent avenue stretches along a beautiful tree-lined canal surrounded by luxury boutiques, designer brands, grand hotels, and stylish cafes. Walking here feels like entering a world where architecture, fashion, and urban beauty come together. But Düsseldorf's appeal goes far beyond luxury and modern sophistication. Just a short walk away lies Altstadt, the historic heart of the city and one of its most beloved neighborhoods. Often called the longest bar in the world, this lively district is famous for its incredible concentration of traditional breweries, restaurants, and bars. With hundreds of establishments packed into its narrow streets, Altstadt becomes a place where locals and visitors gather to celebrate life, friendship, and the famous Düsseldorf beer culture. The city's traditional beer, Altbier, is an essential part of the Düsseldorf experience. Unlike many modern beer styles, Altbier follows centuries-old brewing traditions that create a distinctive taste and character. Served in small glasses and continuously replaced by attentive waiters until guests place a coaster on their glass, this unique tradition reflects the city's welcoming and social atmosphere. Enjoying an Altbier in a historic brewery is not simply about tasting a drink. It is about experiencing a piece of Düsseldorf's identity. Beyond its lively streets, Düsseldorf is one of Germany's most important destinations for art lovers. The city has built an international reputation for creativity, contemporary expression, and cultural innovation. Museums, galleries, and exhibition spaces showcase everything from classical masterpieces to experimental modern works, attracting artists and visitors from around the world. Among the city's cultural treasures are the K20 and K21 museums, internationally recognized for their impressive collections of modern and contemporary art. Inside these remarkable spaces, visitors can discover works by some of the most influential artists of the 20th and 21st centuries. From paintings and sculptures to immersive installations, Düsseldorf's art scene challenges imagination and inspires new perspectives. The city's connection to creativity is also reflected in its architecture. Düsseldorf's skyline represents a fascinating combination of historic elegance and futuristic design. Along the Media Harbour, old industrial warehouses have been transformed into one of Germany's most innovative architectural districts. Here, striking buildings designed by world-famous architects stand beside restored harbour structures, creating a unique landscape where history and modernity exist together. The most recognizable feature of Media Harbour is the group of buildings known as Neuer Zollhof, designed by architect Frank Gehry. Their unusual curved forms, reflective surfaces, and creative shapes have become symbols of Düsseldorf's transformation into a modern city of innovation. Standing beside the harbour, surrounded by these architectural masterpieces, visitors experience a completely different side of Germany. The Rhine River remains the city's greatest natural companion. For centuries, this powerful waterway has shaped Düsseldorf's economy, culture, and daily life. Today, the Riverside Promenade is one of the city's most beautiful gathering places, offering spectacular views, peaceful walking paths, and unforgettable sunsets. As the sun begins to disappear behind the skyline, the Rhine transforms into a magical scene. Cyclists pass along the waterfront, families enjoy evening walks, musicians perform near the river, and cafes come alive with conversation. The combination of flowing water, historic towers, and modern buildings creates one of the most memorable urban landscapes in Germany. One of Düsseldorf's most impressive landmarks is the Rhine Tower, rising high above the city and offering breathtaking panoramic views. From its observation platform, visitors can see the entire city spread below, from the historic Altstadt to the modern Media Harbour, with the Rhine River creating a natural line through the urban landscape. At sunset, this viewpoint becomes especially spectacular as golden light covers the city and distant landscapes. Düsseldorf also holds a special place in the world of fashion. Every year, international designers, buyers, And creative professionals gather here for major fashion events, reinforcing the city's reputation as one of Europe's leading fashion capitals. The influence of design can be felt throughout the city, from elegant boutiques and creative studios to street fashion that reflects Düsseldorf's youthful energy. Yet the city is not only about sophistication and modern style. Düsseldorf also celebrates its traditions through festivals that bring communities together. The famous carnival season transforms the city into a colorful celebration of music, costumes, and humor. During these days, streets fill with parades, performances, and joyful crowds, revealing the warm and playful side of Düsseldorf's personality. Food is another important part of the city's cultural experience. Düsseldorf's cuisine reflects both regional German traditions and international influences created by its diverse population. Visitors can enjoy classic dishes from North Rhine-Westphalia alongside global flavors found throughout the city's restaurants. From traditional taverns to modern dining experiences, Düsseldorf offers a culinary journey as diverse as the city itself. A particularly fascinating part of Düsseldorf's identity is its strong Japanese connection. The city is home to one of the largest Japanese communities in Europe, creating a unique cultural exchange that can be experienced through restaurants, gardens, festivals, and shops. The famous Immermannstraße area, sometimes known as Little Tokyo, offers visitors an opportunity to explore authentic Japanese cuisine, traditions, and culture without leaving Germany. This multicultural character represents one of Düsseldorf's greatest strengths. It is a city where different influences come together naturally, creating an environment of openness and creativity. Here, tradition does not compete with change. Instead, both work together to shape a destination that constantly evolves while maintaining its unique identity. As our journey through Germany reaches its conclusion, Düsseldorf represents the perfect final chapter because it reflects the many qualities we have discovered throughout this adventure. Like Munich, it celebrates tradition. Like Berlin, it embraces creativity and change. Like Heidelberg, it values beauty and culture. Like the villages of Bavaria and the Rhine Valley, it understands the importance of community and heritage. Germany is not defined by a single landscape, a single city, or a single story. It is a country of endless contrasts and unforgettable experiences. From ancient castles rising above green valleys to modern cities filled with innovation, from peaceful villages frozen in time to vibrant cultural capitals, every destination reveals another part of this extraordinary nation. Throughout this journey, we have traveled across mountains, rivers, forests, and historic streets. We have discovered legendary castles, tasted traditional foods, explored centuries-old towns, and witnessed the incredible connection between Germany's past and present. Each place has carried its own unique story, but together they reveal the true wonder of Germany. And perhaps the greatest discovery is that Germany is not simply a destination to visit. It is an experience to feel. It is the sound of church bells echoing through medieval squares. It is the aroma of fresh bread from a village bakery. It is the golden glow of castles at sunset, the rhythm of festivals, the beauty of forests, and the warmth of people who proudly share their culture with the world. As the lights of Düsseldorf shine along the Rhine River and our journey comes to an end, the memories of Germany remain. A country where history meets imagination, where nature meets innovation, and where every road leads to another wonder waiting to be discovered. This is Germany, a land of timeless beauty, unforgettable stories, and endless adventures. A true wonder of Europe. Our journey may end here, but the world still holds countless extraordinary places waiting to be explored. Until our next adventure, keep discovering, keep dreaming, and keep traveling.